If you are a solo sailor, if you have a small sailboat, these are some tips on how you might want to set up your little sailboat.
Hi, I'm Joe, and welcome to Motor City Boat Werks. Let's get to work.
It's very exciting times in the boat works. I'm nearing the completion on the Skipper 20 sailboat restoration. Everything's kind of coming together at the last minute, and I've been working on rigging the boat.
I talked about this earlier. All sailors have their own preferences about how they want their boat to be rigged, how they want it to be set up. I'm no different. I have some particular things I like to do and set up on every sailboat that I've restored or that I'm going to be using.
This episode's going to be all about how to set up your small sailboat for some single-handed sailing.
Right off the bat, I like to lead the lines aft. I'll talk about this a little bit later, but it makes sense to try and bring the lines back to the cockpit so you reduce the amount of time that you have to go forward on the boat.
Typically, this is the mainsail halyard, the topping lift, maybe a jib halyard if you're not using a roller furler, and your furling lines. All those are brought back to the cockpit or right to the cabin top in the vicinity of the cockpit where you can reach them. If you make the decision to lead the lines aft, you're making several other decisions when you do that. It takes some investment, some time, money, and effort to pull this off. This may impact whether you have to get new sails, whether or not you're going to have to get new hardware or a roller furler. At a minimum, you're going to have to get hardware that goes on the deck to reroute the lines, blocks, fair leads, and maybe even some cleats. All these things you're going to need to lay out and mount on the deck. I'm hoping that I can cover that in another episode.
I like to have a topping lift. This is kind of like a halyard that goes up to the top of the mast and back down to the end of the boom. And you can use it to control how high the boom goes up and down. It can also help with tightening your sails and getting a real good sail form.
Surprisingly, a lot of small sailboats don't have this. This is something you might see on maybe a bigger sailboat, but it'll come in handy no matter what size sailboat you're using. It's just a matter of adding an extra line, maybe through an extra block at the top of the mast.
I say it every episode, I don't get compensated in any way for talking about these products. I have no sponsors. Affiliate links sometimes provide a small commission.
Be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. This channel would not be possible without your support. Thank you.
On every sailboat that I use or restore, I like to install what's called a tiller tamer. This is a device that gets mounted to the wooden tiller. You run a line through the pulley system and you can tighten it down when you're sailing single-handed. It'll kind of hold a course maybe while you move around the cockpit or have to do something else. It's not an autopilot, but it will hold a tiller in a position so that you can stay on course for a brief period of time. I'll put a link inside the show description if you're interested in something like this. It's a great gadget. My years living aboard and having a boat out on a mooring and going to and from it or coming down to the marina late at night have taught me that it sure is nice to be able to identify your boat in the dark of the night or in a low light situation. Best way to do that is to put some reflective tape on the mast of your boat. I like to also put the reflective tape on the end of the boom, nearest to its end, so that you can get an idea of the position of the boat if you ever end up looking at it, say it's out on a mooring. Now don't put a whole lot, but just one or two bands in a particular place that you know you'll be able to recognize your boat when you look out at night trying to get back to the marina or trying to get back to your boat. I've gotten to the point on my sailboats that I like to have roller furling. It can be expensive, especially if you have to modify your sails to accept the new roller furler. But this is a project done in conjunction with leading the lines aft that can really add a lot of value to your boat. It takes a little bit of time and effort. We're going to talk about that later on. I think this is a great big ticket upgrade that you could do to pretty much any sailboat.
Adding roller furling to your small sailboat is kind of like leading the lines aft. There are several things that have to be changed or modified. Roller furling requires sails with certain types of attachment so that they can connect to the roller furler unit. The roller furler unit itself can be as much as $600 to $1,000, but a roller furler unit can replace a variety of sails that you might have with just one sail that can be adjusted, bigger or smaller depending on the weather. No matter what the salty dogs tell you, modern roller furler units are reliable. It's very unlikely that they will jam or cause you any serious problems while you're sailing your small sailboat.
I'm particular about the line that I used on my sailboats. It's got to be the right size. It doesn't need to be too big, but it definitely shouldn't be too small. About the smallest line I ever go is about down to 5/16. That's for lines that I'm going to be handling on a regular basis. I like my sheets to be somewhere around 3/8 of an inch, 1/2 inch if possible, depending on the size of the boat. Now, there are some lines like for small boat roller furlers or maybe for a topping lift where you can get away with something smaller than 5/16. But you really got to take a look at the loads that are going to be applied and what you're going to be using it for. Most of the lines that I purchased for my boat are what's called New England Stayset lines. It's a particular type of material. I like to color code my lines. I think it just keeps everything organized. It makes everything really easy, especially when all the lines are led aft and everything's kind of dumped in the cockpit. Well, you automatically know what kind of goes to what.
When you have a small sailboat, the ease of setup and takedown is really prioritized over a lot of other things. I'm always looking for rigging hardware that's going to make my life easier as a single-handed sailor.
This is a stainless steel pin that I like to use on the boom at the tack for the mainsail. It makes it very easy to kind of put the sail on and take it off. Proper halyard shackles make a big difference. They can be a real convenience, instead of using, say, just a normal shackle or even a knot. There's a variety of different sorts of cleats, everything from traditional to jam cleats, clam cleats, cam cleats. There's all sorts of different ways to kind of stop a line. My preference has always been for traditional cleats or maybe a cam cleat in certain circumstances. But if you're going to use a cam cleat, you have to make sure that they're sized properly and they put enough tension on the line to actually hold it in place.
Do you want to try some of these projects? Well, I make my notes and my parts list, all of the details from my Da Vinci notebook available to the workers. Workers also get access to my ebooks. The book I wrote about restoring a classic 30-foot sailboat, you get that free. My guide to building a pilot house on a small sailboat, you also get that free. Every worker gets a free shop sticker. You get behind-the-scenes footage, and you get updates from me as I'm working through the projects in the Boat Werks. But wait, there's more. Depending on what tier you are as a Patreon supporter, well, you get a discount on my consulting, on my personal coaching for your boat restoration project. Check it out. All you have to do is go over to my Patreon account, sign up as a worker. Even if you can't afford to support the channel right now, sign up as a free worker because sometimes I give away free information.
One of my preferences is I don't like halyards that have splices in them. I just think they get in the way. And in my experience, I've spent a tremendous amount of time putting splices in my halyards only to have to cut up the rope at a later date for some reason. And it was like a waste of time. I'd rather just tie a simple knot in the end of the line to a shackle, and then the shackle goes right to the sail. This keeps my options open in case I ever need to use the line for something else, in case I ever need to swap lines from one boat to another boat or a different project that I might have going on. I've talked about this before. If you're sailing a small sailboat, say bigger than about 15 feet, it's a cruising sail and you're running at least 2 sails and you're going to be out in any sort of weather or you're going to be doing any sort of small time cruising, I feel like you need to probably have at least one winch on the boat. It comes in handy for a lot of different purposes. You never know when you're going to need that mechanical advantage, and it's easy to add a winch to just kind of upgrade the hardware that you have on your deck. The last thing that I'll offer you is this idea that if you're going to be kind of re-rigging your mast and kind of setting it up for the first time on a new, sailboat restoration, well, Plan ahead for the future. Plan ahead for the possibility that you might need to run a line up the mast for something else, like for a pennant or for a flag or even Christmas lights. Think ahead that you might need the ability to run something up the mast, at least to the spreaders, maybe even further. You might even need some extra lines or halyards to put on a storm jib, or to help you just maneuver the mast when you're stepping it or unstepping it. You need to kind of think ahead. Remember, once you get the mast up there, that's not the time to realize, man, I wish I had another halyard to do something. Go ahead and put one in now ahead of time while the mast is down and easy to access.
All right, that's all I got. I'm on my way to getting this boat together. I'm going to finish up this little sailboat and hopefully have a moment of completion when I splash this thing. In the meantime, check out some of my bucket list sailboat episodes. Trust me, you're going to love it. I want to thank you for stopping by. I'll see you next time. Stay motivated.